Oh God. Oh my God. Dalton. Logic and Dalton. Logic and Eminem are touring together.
They are, yeah. They're in Hawaii today.
I thought you were gonna be more excited when I told you. Were you excited at all when I texted you that?
I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And then you said they're not going to come to America. So I looked into it, and it doesn't look like they're coming to America.
They might.
So.
I don't see why not.
Because they're already here. They're in Hawaii, and then they're going to Australia, New Zealand, and then the tour's over.
Yeah, but then they'll do like the North American tour.
Says who?
Says Eminem when he tours, he stops in Detroit every single time.
So you're just going to throw it out there.
Yep, I am. And I bet you
could possibly just be a smaller tour.
No Mr. Nicholas up in this bitch, I'm telling you.
Bet your Logic's not there.
That's fine. I like Eminem.
Fuck you. That's why I'm not excited.
In this episode... Completely unrelated.
This is an all MMA episode.
It's our bonus episode for the third UFC on ESPN. It's the third one.
You're just gonna number it.
Even though they don't have numbers.
It's ESPN. What is it? What's it actually called? ESPN
UFC Fight Night on ESPN or some shit like that.
For January 16th.
Yes, it's Velasquez versus Ngannou. This is a stacked fight card, so we wanted to make sure we had a bonus episode to talk about the fights before they came out. We're gonna do these for every single pay-per-view and every single good fight card. That's like a non-pay-per-view and shit. So we pretty much broke down like the majority of the fights. We made our picks. We bet shots on the picks. Find out who's gonna die or not Saturday. And hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, a lot of detailed analysis. So
a lot of detail.
Detailed analysis. Yep.
I almost died. I had like a lot of phlegm in my throat. I need to swallow.
I'm pretty sure I made a lot of very incorrect predictions, but stay tuned to find out which ones.
Bye. Somebody in their prime. 1v1, just one fight.
Why is this always how you make comparisons? Like every time I
battle to the deaths.
Why? Why? Can't even count at the same time.
Come on. 1, 2, 3. What's up, everybody? We're back. Episode, I don't know, bonus episode though.
32. It's episode 32. This is
bonus.
A bonus round.
Don's getting so pissed at these bonuses. He's like, are we doing another bonus from this weekend? I'm like, yeah, bro.
I wasn't getting pissed. I was just asking because I was like, is there even like a good card here? I thought it was only a card with like one fight on it, but it's not that bad.
No, it's better than the pay-per-view that just passed. There's only technically there's only one fight that we wanted to watch because Whitaker and Gaston got canceled.
No, you're right.
But anyways, like, I only want to do the bonus content on just the pay-per-views, obviously.
Sure.
And the good fight cards, the good fight nights, which obviously this is like the third ESPN fight night. Because they had the first one with TJ and Henry, then they had a second one in Brazil, and now this is the third one, but they're not counting them. They're just
there's no numbers.
Fight on
just ESPN fight,
which is like cool, but it's like hard for me to like research.
Keep track.
So
ESPN like, Fight Night, January 3rd. What?
So this one's stacked though. This one got Velasquez and Ngannou. The main event.
It also has the 5,000th fight in UFC history.
Seriously?
Alex Caceres and whoever the fuck he's fighting.
Whoever the fuck?
Yeah.
Ooh, I got some shit to tell you.
I mean, I've read the name. I'm
sure. Gracie.
Gracie. That's right. I read that the first time. I was like, Caceres versus somebody as the 5,000th fight. That's not really anything. But you throw a Gracie on it, and all of a sudden it's better.
Yeah. And he's a legit, really good jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Okay. So we're going to see some legit Gracie skills, not just, hey, this guy's a Gracie, let's fight.
Well, I mean...
How good is he?
He's 4-0 in MMA.
1 to 10. How good is he? 10 is...
Jiu-jitsu?
10 is Maya.
11.
Seriously?
Yeah, dude. He submitted Gary Tonin, who's like the G in jiu-jitsu right now.
The G?
Yeah, the G. And he's 4-0 in MMA, but that... excuse me. That was in Ryzen. Ryzen. The Japanese or Chinese, whatever the fuck. The Asian fight thing that's not one championship.
It's Risen.
It's Risen. That's where Floyd fought. He knocked out homeboy.
That was it. That was a Risen event?
Yes. It was a Rising. Okay. And fun fact, Floyd wants his, somebody who's signed, he has signed, I don't know the boxer's name, but he wants him to fight, what's his name, Kenshin or whatever. Yeah. He wants him to fight him now. So they're just trying to get as much money as possible.
Is something going on with Floyd? Because I believe T.I. just made a song, a very explicit diss track towards Floyd, calling him a fuckboy, basically.
Seriously?
Yeah. Had some nicely photoshopped artwork and everything. I was pretty impressed by T.I.'s production value with it. But apparently he's just a fuckboy.
How are you make a diss track against Floyd?
Apparently he's
What's he going to do?
I don't know.
I mean, he'll fight you, though.
He'll try.
He'd fuck T.I. up.
I feel like T.I. would literally shoot him.
Nah.
Or have somebody shoot him.
I was gonna say
Floyd Mayweather would just get shot, and then that'd be the end of it.
I disagree. I think Floyd's bodyguards are way more badass than
Badass. So the first fight we talk about on this stacked MMA podcast is T.I. versus Floyd Mayweather, and I'm putting my bet on T.I.
I know T.I. could fight. I've seen videos of him fight, but that ain't...
Obviously, it's not comparable at all. But what I'm trying to say here is T.I. has a gun. He has firearms. Not saying Floyd can't.
Yeah, you don't think Floyd's
They have golden firearms.
Yeah, dude, I'm dying right now.
Well, do it faster.
Okay, first fight I want to talk about.
Okay.
Because last time we did a bonus one, it was like almost like an hour and some change.
It was 55 minutes, but it was
an hour and some change. And we're trying to like make these little quick tidbits just so you guys can
It is a bonus round, not just a second episode. Yeah.
So the first fight I want to talk about is Jimmy Rivera versus Aljamain Sterling. And keep in mind, this is not in any particular order. These are just the fights that I want to talk about. So if you wanted to hear any other ones, fuck off. You should have said something.
You should have said something. Go to pnacast.com/contact and let Nick know the order of fighters that he should be going in.
The order of the pick, who you think you should bet on, all that shit. I'll make sure you guys go broke quick.
It's true. If you bet the house on Anderson, like I was telling you to do last week,
that was you. I was like, don't do that.
I literally said so yeah, but I put it back on me anyway. That's fine.
Anderson did fight well. Give him credit. Credit's due.
Yeah.
But back on this, Jimmy versus Aljo. Want to hear a fun fact about both of them?
Fun fact? Is the one fact about both of them, or are there two fun facts?
There's one thing that is the exact same about both of them.
Okay, what is it?
They both got knocked out in the first round by Marlon Moraes. Do you remember Aljo's knockout?
I do not remember it, no.
Marlon went to go for a head kick, and Aljo ducked at the perfect time for Marlon, and he kneed him right in the fucking temple, and he stiffed him. Just fell face first on the ground. He was like knocked out for a while.
Dead. He was a dead person.
And then Jimmy Rivera, when he fought him, Jimmy was on a 20-fight win streak and got starched.
Just ended because of Marlon?
33 seconds starched.
Where was this in the timeline of Marlon's rise to greatness here? Rise into being a superhero? Was this early on? Was this like a surprise?
Marlon has always been really, really good. Okay. He was a champion at World Series of Fighting.
He's a hero from day one.
And then his first fight was Rafael Sunsao in the UFC. And he's
humbled him a little bit.
He's somebody who is really, really hard to fight. Like when it goes to it almost always goes to a decision, and it almost always goes in his favor. He decisioned TJ in the past. TJ obviously got that fight back. But Rafael hasn't really lost to anybody else. Then Marlon came in the UFC and fought him and lost by a split decision. It was a very close fight. He admitted like he didn't fight to his standards and shit. And then he came back and he fought John Dodson. He won a decision. He was kind of upset with that one as well. Then he came back and fought Aljo, knocked him out in a minute and some change. Fought Jimmy Rivera, knocked him out in 33 seconds. Fought Sunsao again, almost knocked him out, then went on the ground and grappled his ass. And Sunsao was a black belt, and he fucking choked him out in the first round.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so he's the dark horse of that division.
He's a superhuman.
He's like, he's going after TJ. But the shitty thing is Henry and TJ obviously have to fight. It's probably going to be at 135. Because you can't have TJ fight and defend his belt right now, because he's like not really a champ. He's technically the champ, but
he's a champ coming off a loss.
Yes, which is not very appetizing for fans. They're not going to really like tune in to see him as much as they would.
Watch him. He just lost.
Yeah, but they'd watch the rematch more than they'd watch him fight somebody else. So.
And you'd be more interested in a rematch if it was at a different weight class, so you can maybe see something better from TJ.
Which he swears up and down that the weight cut had nothing to do with it, but...
All right, sure.
Come on, Craig. So anyways, back to this fight. Jimmy... He was on that 20-fight win streak, then he got starched by Marlon, and then he had a quick turnover, and he fought John Dodson, and he won by decision. And that's how the majority of his fights go, is he wins by decision. He's a really, really good striker. He has really, really good foot movement, and he has amazing takedown defense.
Okay. So very few weaknesses?
100% takedown defense in the UFC.
100%?
Yeah.
That can't possibly be true.
It's on the UFC website. I looked it up.
Jesus.
So don't fucking act like you're going to stat check me, bitch.
I didn't say anything like that. I was just saying that you were incorrect.
Aljamain. Aljamain Sterling, the fuck master. He is a really, really, really good grappler. He trains with Matt Serra, Ray Longo, Weidman, Wonder Boy, all those boys in New York. His striking is okay, but I don't think it's as good as Jimmy's. I don't think it's as I want to say as crisp,
refined.
Jimmy's is way more technical, and I think he's gonna outpoint Aljo. And because Aljo's grappling is like his main thing, I think this is a tough matchup for him because Jimmy has really, really good takedown defense. So I think it's going to be a stand-up striking match for the majority of the fight. Aljo might catch him.
Aljo has the range.
He might get like one takedown. Yeah, but I don't think it's that big.
Like a big reach advantage?
Yeah, Rivera's built kind of like Faber, where he's like short and stocky, not really lengthy. But it's like, it's a good for his weight class. It's not like he's undersized in his weight class. He's a big boy. The
guys that are bigger than him aren't that much bigger than him.
Yeah. And they'll be taller, but they lose strength what they gain.
Sure.
So, and Aljo just relies on takedowns and submissions for the most part. He had like submission of the year last year, but Aljamain's never really, he's never beat anybody of like note. I think he hasn't beat anybody. Every time he's had like a stiff test or somebody's like a top 5, he's lost. And then Jimmy Rivera, he's beat Faber. He's had a 20-fight win streak. He's consistent in the octagon. He knows how to win. Then he fought Marlon, obviously. But I think he's a better fighter. And even though I like Aljo, I think I'm going to go with Rivera by decision. I'm getting the first pick, bitch.
All right. Glad you just gave yourself that. That is fine. Well, I mean, I don't typically like the longer fighters.
Let me see what the reach advantage is. I don't think it's that much, if anything at all. I could be way off on that, but
you're normally way off about things.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I got like a stiff throat and shit.
We just had pork chops.
Dog, I made some good ass pork chops. I put soy sauce and brown sugar and garlic salt and pepper and a few other seasonings. Chopped up some onions, put that all with the seasoning, made like a dry rub, seared the pork chops, broiled them, not baked them because our oven's fucking broke, so we gotta use broil for now. Then, yeah, Sam made really good potatoes and shit. Shout out Sam. She made like the recipe, but I made it all. So I'm like, I'm a chef in this bitch.
All you did was follow directions.
Shut up, man.
All right. So Aljo, if I'm forced to stick with him, I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of good fights.
What? You've already chosen decision, so I feel like I'd be a lame-o if I chose decision.
You're gonna pick Aljo by decision?
No, I said I'd feel like a lame-o. So
Aljamain has a 2.5 reach advantage. Yeah.
Third round. Triangle.
He's 5'7". Jimmy's 5'4". Third round triangle. Yeah. You think he's gonna triangle Jimmy or
triangle?
Don't listen to this guy.
My picks are always on point. Always.
You about to take a shot. Next fight that I want to talk about is Miles Jury versus Touchy Feely.
Andre Feely.
Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about them recently, or do you know who Miles Jury is, right?
Recently, I know more about Andre Feely actually.
Do you remember when Cowboy fought Miles Jury? We were at the bar when we watched it. He was like getting so frustrated Miles Jury wasn't fighting him. He kept circling. He was on the ground. He was just kicking his legs as hard as he could until like the last second. Like you could see like the rage in Cowboy's face. He was just angry because he wanted to fight, and Miles was like, "Oh shit, this is in my head." He was undefeated. He beat Diego Sanchez, started running his mouth, and Cowboy's like, "Oh, you're gonna fight somebody from my camp? Fuck you, I'll fight you." And then he fucked him up.
Okay, so not starting off great for Miles Jury in terms of my first impressions. I don't remember that.
He was really good. He was. He had a few notable wins, and after he lost to Cowboy, he fought Alex Oliveira. Got submitted in the first round. Then he took like a huge layoff. And then he came back, and I believe he won a fight. I forget against who, but he won a fight. It wasn't against anybody notable. Then he fought Chad Mendes, and Chad Mendes' return. And
it's Chad Mendes.
Chad Mendes knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, take that for what it's worth. But before that, he lost, like I said, lost to Oliveira. Then he fought 2 people. He beat Mika De La Torre, who I have no idea who that is, and then Rick Glenn by decision. So he's 17-3. He's a good young fighter. He had a lot of like poise in the very beginning. Fell off after those 2 losses, and came back 1-2. Lost to Chad, so this is kind of his bounce back fight. That Chad knockout was in July, so he's definitely giving himself some time to rest.
Yeah.
The issue is he's fighting somebody who's from Team Alpha Male, same camp as Chad, so they know how to train against him.
Sure.
But also at the same time, Chad's more of like a stocky grappler with a lot of punching power, which Miles had to worry about the takedown and that. Feely's not going to be like that.
He's just going to punch at him.
Yeah, Feely, he's lengthy just like Miles Jury, so I think it's going to be a stand-up contest. And I'm not exactly sure who to pick.
Well, that's lucky for you. Is that why you chose the first one, so you wouldn't have to pick this one?
No, it just kind of worked out that way.
Okay, that's nice.
I think they're both Andre is more flashy with his striking. He'll do more kicks and more risky, like striking moves, I guess. Their footwork's about the same. Miles he's more by the book.
Gotcha.
Like he just sticks with like the basics, but he does them well. He's lengthy. He knows how to use his jab at his distance. It's gonna be interesting. I think on the ground, Miles Jury has better jiu-jitsu, but you can't ever forget about Team Alpha Male's fucking rear naked choke. That's what they're like patented for. Every single one of them is super good at. Yeah, Faber, Mendez. You serious?
They have a patented rear naked choke.
It's like he Cynthia Calvillo. How many rear naked choke submissions she has? They all like they're known for how good their chokes are, especially Faber. You didn't know that?
I don't know why I didn't know that. No. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Let's see your in-depth.
My in-depth analysis.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with what I believe to be the safer option in Miles Jury. I like the sound of that by the book striking in this kind of fight. I remember Touchy Feely going against Holloway and them doing that fucking throwdown thing, which is awesome.
No, that wasn't.
It wasn't him?
No.
Who was that?
That was Ricardo Lamas. You fuck.
Fuck, man. Can we just erase that part from the podcast?
Nope. I don't even know if he fought.
Seriously?
I don't think Feely
did they fight? Lamas and Touchy Feely?
I don't believe so.
I have to have some kind of association here because I thought.
Oh, he lost to Holloway. He got submitted in the third round by Holloway by a guillotine choke.
Damn. Okay, well that's not what I was
Holloway's
thinking of anyway.
Dude, did you see that thing I sent you on Instagram? Holloway posted off topic.
We're not. We can get there later. I have something about it.
Whatever. So you're going with Miles Jury by decision?
I'm going to go with Miles Jury.
I think that's...
stick with the decision, yeah.
I think that's the safest option. He's the favorite, barely, minus 150. So I'm going to go with Andre.
Bet the house on Feely.
That's such a bad bet. Plus 130. Yeah, Feely by second round knockout. Third fight.
Okay.
Kron Gracie versus Alex Caceres. Alex Bruce Lee Warrior Caceres. He was on the Ultimate Fighter with like Michael Johnson in them. Michael Johnson was like super pissed at him because somebody gave them an upper decker. Oh no. Alex Caceres threw all of Michael Johnson's clothes in the washer with bleach. And then Michael Johnson said like he was fucking pissed. Because they were like on the same team. But Alex thought he was bleaching the other team's clothes, and he accidentally bleached Michael Johnson's. So Michael Johnson's like, fuck you, and he wanted to fight him. He ended up fighting him in like one of the second semifinals, and he beat him. I think Michael Johnson won that Ultimate Fighter.
All because of a laundry incident.
Yeah, fucking set him off, bro. You didn't fuck with someone's laundry.
Thank you, Alex.
So like I said earlier, Kron is 4-0 in MMA. It was all rising. It was like a little tournament. It was a tourney.
It was a tourney.
Yeah. And he submitted Gary Tonin in grappling. So his fucking jiu-jitsu is legit. All 4 of his wins are by submission. And Alex Caceres is a good matchup for him for his debut.
He's a flashy striker.
He's not the greatest striker. He may try a couple of flashy things, but they're not very accurate, and he doesn't have that much punching power. So he's not going to knock out Kron Gracie. Kron's not going to have to worry about the stand-up or the takedown. Alex also likes jiu-jitsu. He has, I think, 4 jiu-jitsu finishes. Or not jiu-jitsu, submission finishes. And so I think he may, he wouldn't be, terrified to go to the ground with Kron.
Is that a bad thing, though?
Yes, because if he thinks that he can contend with Kron on the ground, I think he's going to be in a rude awakening. He's got to get Damian Mayad.
Yeah,
he's going to get squeezed and submitted. So I'm going with Kron, who is a 3 to 3.5 favorite, minus 350, which is kind of crazy to me just because.
For a debut.
Yeah, for a UFC debut. You got the name, so I'm sure people are betting on you just because of the name, but it's the UFC. You never fucking know.
True.
Ryzen, you didn't find anybody even close to the level of Alex Caceres. I'm not saying Alex is amazing, but he's a good fighter. He's a veteran. He's been in UFC for a while.
Who has Alex Caceres fought with any kind of Brazilian jiu-jitsu background?
Jiu-jitsu background? I can check real quick, but he split decision lost to Yair.
I remember that one. They were very similar
He could have
style.
arguably won that fight.
Yeah.
I think he has a couple other. He's 14-11. He's like a journeyman. He lost to Jason Knight. He got submitted by Jason Knight. He beat Cole Miller. He lost to Faber. He beat Sergio Pettis by submission.
That was early. That was young Sergio.
It was 5 years ago.
Goodness, little baby.
Yeah. So he has some wins against some notable people. He's fought the best of the best as far as Uriah, Francisco Rivera, Yair Rodriguez, Jason Knight. I mean, not like top, but he's definitely fought top 5 talent at times. So I don't think that nerves are going to get to Alex, but I think Kron's just going to submit
The
him.
jiu-jitsu is going to get to him.
Yeah.
All right. Can I just piggyback on your pick and?
Nope. Second round submission by Kron.
All right. First round head kick knockout for Caceres.
I'm going to laugh if we get all the knockouts right.
I know, that'd be great.
The next one is Cynthia Calvillo versus Courtney Casey.
Cynthia Calvillo's last fight was a disappointment.
That was your girl.
I know. Yeah, I was disappointed.
Yeah,
she was my girl.
Carla Esparza. She lost
the decision.
Yeah, and she thought she won. I won that shit.
I don't think she
I won that. She did. She got outstruck.
Yeah.
And she could not have taken Cynthia down. Cynthia has really good wrestling. But she should have tried something different. She thought she was winning the stand-up, and I blame the coaches for that shit. The coaches
it was a yes man scenario.
The coaches should have told her, "You're losing this fight. You need to finish it, not just hey, you're doing okay. You got
doing
that
what
round."
you're doing.
Because if your corner tells you got that round, then you're gonna think that you have that round. You need to tell them the fucking truth.
Yeah.
So
and if you think you're winning, you're not going to push yourself that extra limit that you can if you're like backed against the wall.
Kevin Lee said that his corner had made some mistakes like that when he was fighting Al. Like he said, his Al, he said he took his pedal off the gas a little bit. His foot off the pedal. Because his corner never told him that he needed to win some rounds in the 4th or 5th. He thought he had 1, 2, and 3 in the bag. So he's kind of blaming him. I don't know. He's like, I like Kevin Lee. I like him. He's himself. I'll say that. He don't seem fake. Like he's just always himself, which I like that. It's not a stupid ass act like Kobe. So Cynthia versus Courtney. Do you know anything about Courtney Casey?
Who's Courtney Casey?
She's a veteran. She's fought a lot of high talented people like Michelle Watterson.
Did she win against them?
No. Okay. She's always lost against the top talent. And whenever she wins, she's the decision machine. She does not.
Decision. Is that her official nickname? The decision machine?
No, her nickname is Cast Iron. Yeah, I guess. She can definitely take a lot of damage.
Okay.
I don't know if that's like
fits the nickname. I
don't know if that's like.
Try punching a cast iron pan. Bro.
She's 8-6.
Guess it's not.
And she only has 2 decisions, so I'm kind of low key talking.
Where's
shit.
the decision queen coming from?
Because her decision split win against Angela Hill, then decision split loss against Michelle Watterson, decision split loss against Felice
because her other decisions are lost.
Decision unanimous against Jessica Aguilar, and then decision unanimous loss against Claudia.
When was her last win that was not a decision?
It was in 2016 against Ronda Marcos.
I was gonna say her name is actually Rando. It's Rando. Interesting.
So her last fight was a win against Angela Hill. It was a split decision win. And I think she's in for a rough night against Cynthia.
Yeah.
Cynthia, it was 7-0. She fought 5 times last year.
I remember. She was looking good.
And Don had a huge crush on her. Obviously,
it's true,
he likes the.
We've been over the non-white thing.
Yeah,
let's not make an extra thing.
He's
out
like
of it.
Prejudiced and shit.
It's not prejudice.
Something fucking wrong with him.
Positive prejudice.
She's beat a lot of good people. She's beat Joanne Calderwood. She beat Pearl Gonzalez. Remember that chick I told you? I said like she's really really beautiful and got some amazing eyes and shit.
Of course.
Yeah, she's fighting for Invicta actually tomorrow. Yeah, for the Invicta Championship.
Today's Friday, by the way.
Shout out to Pearl Gonzalez.
I don't know if we mentioned the date today.
So after she beat Pearl and she beat Joanne. She fought Carla and lost a decision, and then she fought Paulina Botello. Actually, I lied. She fought 5 times in 2017, not 2018. She got suspended for marijuana. Remember?
Yeah.
Some bullshit. So then she came back and she went against Polana, whoever that is. I honestly didn't even watch that fight, but it was a first round submission, rear naked choke. She has 1, 2, 3 rear naked choke submissions.
Patented.
Yeah. So I think she is way more aggressive than Courtney Casey. She's going to put the pressure on Courtney. Courtney is a stand-up fighter. She's well-rounded, but I've never really seen her utilize her ground game as well as Cynthia does. Like Cynthia goes for the finish. That's her plan. And she's aggressive. She's ruthless. She got that fucking alpha male instinct inside of her. I think she's going to fucking first round choke Courtney Casey out. But it's your pick.
I appreciate that pick, yes. Thank you. I don't know about first round, but I definitely will also go with...
Pick the round. Cynthia is a 3-1 favorite, by the way. Pick the fucking round.
End of the second round.
So, second round submission.
I want to be extra specific since you're rushing me.
Okay, and then the co-main events. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Paul Felder, who's your boy,
He's my boy.
versus James Vick.
Who I'm indifferent about.
He had a pretty rough
Did he
out.
get straight murked?
Yeah, he
straight
had a
destroyed?
pretty rough out his
I
last
thought
fight.
he died. That's what I'm indifferent about.
He got knocked out pretty good. And it was like it's sour for him because of all the shit he talks about Justin Gaethje, which I believed him. I picked him to win that fight. I thought that if he utilized his footwork and his reach and his distance, he would pick Justin apart because Justin is a brawler and he fights the same way every single time.
So what do you think went wrong?
I think the lights got to him, and I think Justin didn't fight the exact same way.
He adjusted his game plan. Vic didn't adjust his.
Yeah, and Vic seemed nervous. Even though he swears up and down he wasn't nervous, I listened to interviews and shit after.
You apparently just don't trust anything these fighters say about themselves.
I mean, he looked like he was nervous. He may not have been in his head nervous, but he definitely looked like he was hesitant with Justin. And maybe that's not nervousness. Maybe he's just, okay, he's a heavy hitter, so I got to be more cautious. But he definitely wasn't using his range enough. He wasn't kicking it back with his feet. He wasn't keeping it behind his jab or nothing. He was circling, and Justin just cut the fucking cage up on him and knocked him out. And one punch. Boom.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, so
It's
that
a
was...
Mortal Kombat finisher.
It was like 6 months ago. So he's definitely taking some time to heal up. Because I hate when fighters just try to bounce back. Like,
It's been 2 months after my concussion. I'm ready.
yeah, like they want the win so bad. They want to get that loss
quick,
out of their mouth.
I have to imagine it.
I get it.
Beats on
it's
you.
It's bitter. I'm sure you think about it a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine like you're spending 3 months thinking about one person and you're working your ass off trying to beat them, and you go through that mental battle for 3 months, and then you get fucking knocked out like that. Like I would think about that shit every fucking night.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to let it go. It would be. So I get it. That's why I was really nervous for Frankie when he bounced back after that fucking knockout from Ortega, and he tried to fight Cub again. And I was like, man, Cub's a motherfucker. I know you beat him once, but it's a quick turnaround. But
I remember how upset you were about that. You looked like you were tearing up a little bit as you were talking about he doesn't need to stop.
Frankie proved me wrong, and I'm happy because I love Frankie. He's a fucking legend.
Of course.
So for this, he has 6 months off, and now he's coming back. I still think Vic can be a top 10, top 5 lightweight fighter. I really do. He's super tall. He's lengthy.
Yeah, he's got the size.
And if he's a smart fighter, and he's also exciting. He doesn't just fight to decision. He tries to finish people, but he does it his own way. He doesn't put himself in danger just to get a knockout or anything like that. Paul Felder is an elite striker.
Yeah.
His striking is better than James Vick's.
Yeah.
I think
Mr. Danger.
I think James may be able to keep him back behind his jab for a little bit.
Yeah, not
but
gonna be for long.
Paul will eventually, like in the second or third round, he'll get his distance and his range, and he'll start to clip James. The odds are for this, they're both minus. James is minus 115, Paul's minus 105. So it's like a pick 'em.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my pick, right?
Yep. Let's see what you got.
Paul's coming off his split decision loss to Mike Perry, which was at 170 pounds. Paul normally fights at 155. I like Paul. He's an entertaining fighter. He's game. He's willing to fight anybody anytime. He doesn't bitch a lot. He's like, let me do my work and prove my worth, and then I'll get what I want. Instead of just, I want to fight this guy. I want to fight this guy. I deserve it. You know what I mean?
He's a good commentator too.
He's sick of it. Yeah, and he's a good commentator. He's a nice guy. He's a dope guy. I like him. I also like James. Fuck.
So do you like the reach or do you like the strike?
I also think James has better ground game.
Is that going to get to that point? Or is that going to be like a last defense type thing for Vic and end up falling short anyway?
I could see Paul clipping James and then getting on top of him, and then James can submit him.
That's fair.
Fuck, man.
But I imagine Paul Felder's smarter than that, right?
I want Paul to win. I'm a Paul fan, but fuck. I'm going to go with James by decision.
I read your notes for this, by the way. I know you hate that, but I saw it says no idea who to pick.
Yeah, I put pick not sure.
Also, many misspellings in your
I know, bro.
one of your
It's
wrap-ups.
okay. I was like low-key thinking, I knew you were going to read it, and I was like, he's just going to fucking run his mouth on the podcast, and I don't give a fuck.
You asked for it, basically.
So I'm going by decision with James, but I'm not very comfortable with that. I want Paul to win, but I also want James to win. It's a very important fight for both of them. They're both coming off a loss.
Right.
James just got humiliated. He's trying to prove that he's a top 10, top 5 lightweight fighter. Paul's trying to
not become a permanent commentator.
Yeah, and he's trying to prove that he's not just somebody that you have to, like a journeyman. He wants to prove that he can make a run for the title, which he's never really gotten close. He just win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. And
he hasn't been in that many fights yet, though. Right?
He don't really set himself up for success because he's just down to fight anybody.
I guess that makes sense.
Like, he's had some amazing knockouts. Like when he fought Danny Castillo, the fucking spinning backhand, fucking starched him. It was fucking great. So I would love to see him do that out to James, but I don't know. I like James. I don't know why. I like that Southern boy. I like them both. I'm gonna go with James by decision.
Okay, I'm happy with. I probably would have picked Paul anyway.
No shit. Him. I thought you were gonna pick him 100%. Yeah. Okay, so the main event.
This is a tough one.
VELASQUEZ versus Francis Ngannou.
This is tough.
I'll say this: for any fight for Kane to come back to after a 2.5 year layoff, Ngannou, excluding DC, may be like one of the toughest matchups for him. And I say this because this isn't Ngannou who just got starched, or not starched, but embarrassed by Stipe. Or the Ngannou who was afraid when he fought Derek Lewis. This is Ngannou who fought Curtis Blades, who is the second best wrestler, second or third behind Stipe and DC in the heavyweight division, who brutally knocked out Alistair. Do you remember those elbows? He fucking just smashed him.
It was sad.
Who is poised to become a heavyweight champion in the future. He's young and he's fucking huge and he got some amazing grappling, good striking. He's a good all-around fighter. Ngannou fought him and knocked him out in the first round. That's his second time beating Curtis Blades. He beat him in his debut by like split decision, I think, or decision. And if anybody was going to intimidate Ngannou, it would have been another wrestler. Maybe because he beat him before, he wasn't afraid of him. But I think Ngannou is, he's gotten over all the mental shit that Stipe did to him.
Okay, so not the same Ngannou, not the same weaknesses that he had when he was against Stipe.
No, against DC or Derek Lewis. When he didn't have any weaknesses against Stipe other than his
weaknesses
other than his ego. His ego told him that he was good enough to not train as hard as possible against Stipe because he thought he was just going to starch him in the first round. Which I think he learned his lesson from that, and I also think that he's not hesitant and he's not scared to exhaust his energy anymore like he was against Derek Lewis. Or that could have been just because Derek Lewis is a big motherfucker too, and they both know it only takes one punch from either one of them.
And maybe the only reason he was himself against Curtis Blades because he knew he already beat him before.
Right. So he's going up against
the man.
Kane
He's the man.
Velasquez. Kane in his prime is the best heavyweight of all time. I think Kane in his prime would beat anybody heavyweight or light heavyweight.
Literally anybody.
Including John Jones.
Why did that fight never happen?
John wouldn't go up.
You just wouldn't?
Yeah, he wouldn't. Kane said he'd fight him now too.
Really?
Kane also said, which kind of worries me, that if he comes back and he's not up to his standards, he's retiring.
I read that. It says if he's not competitive, he'll just hang it up.
Yeah, which I hope that he's not thinking about that. I think he's just saying, well, if I'm not competitive, I'm just not going to fight.
He followed that up with, but I feel stronger than I have.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Not
But,
ever,
when you say that R word, it worries me because how long are they thinking about retiring? Like, how much do you think about that at night when you're trying to go to sleep? Some people are like thinking about it like they're going to retire after the fight, you know?
Right. I mean, if you try to look at some examples of it, literally just now, we had Silva, who's got that word in his head, I'm sure. He lost.
Silva's a legend, though.
There's Aldo. There was rumors that he could.
He's retiring at the end of the year. That's his plan.
Oh, okay, that's the plan. Yeah. So maybe it's less of a thing if it's planned.
I'll say this. Kane has some miles on him. The difference between him and Anderson has fought way more than Kane, but he's taken way less damage. Kane has had wars. Yeah. He got knocked out by Junior Dos Santos, then had 2 wars with JDS where he beat the fuck out of JDS. Bad, but he took damage in those fights too. And then obviously the Verdum fight. And every heavyweight fight you take, you get damage. And he's been in a lot of them. He's only gotten finished in 2 of them. The knockout from JDS and the submission from Verdum. Submission from Verdum was like I don't want to say it was a fluke. It was just an error on Velasquez's part by not going there early enough to get acclimated to the weather and to the climate. So he got gassed out really quick.
Which is not something that he does at all.
No, everybody says stories like he has just as much cardio as lightweights and shit in the gym. Another thing about this fight is DC's been injured with his back. So I don't think he's been training with DC. He may have been training with Khabib a little bit.
It's still the best camp there is.
If Luke's there, I mean, who is Kane's training partners? Luke, DC.
I did not know DC was out.
So I'm not saying Kane is going in there unprepared, but I'm saying he's not going in there as prepared as he normally is.
Sure, this ain't Top Kane.
Yeah, and he's coming off a 2.5-year layoff, which I don't think is that huge of a deal because he had a 1-year layoff and then he came back and fucking destroyed Travis Brown. Do you remember that? UFC 200?
I remember that gold
That's the last time he's fought, dude. UFC 200.
It is pretty crazy.
It's going to be an interesting fight. Ngannou, everybody knows he has power. What they say is power of like ego sport or some shit. They asked Cain Velasquez. He goes, eco sports suck. They're fucking slow ass cars.
Damn.
And they did that face off today. They were friendly with each other. And shit. Yeah.
Gave him knucks.
Ngannou doesn't look that much bigger than Cain. I thought he was gonna be way bigger.
I'm sure taller. When you see their bodies, there'll be a strict difference. Kane's kind of a chubster.
Cain, I am so excited to see him. If he comes back like the old Cain, I'm going to be so happy because I want to see Cain versus Stipe. I want to see Cain versus John Jones.
How long do you expect him to be here, man?
No, like he's only like, he can't be that old.
It's 36 at least.
No.
Minimum.
No way.
32?
Fuck off. He's 36.
Bam!
But he got like at least another 4 years because he's barely fought in the past few years. If he could stay injury free, if he trains smart, and hopefully he didn't do too much permanent damage to his body.
If he stays injury free in the most dangerous division there is.
He only gets injured in camp.
Is that it? Is that like a thing?
Yeah. That's a huge thing with Cain.
Interesting.
His last fight, I forget who he was supposed to fight, but he had an interview like 2 days before the fight, and he said that he can't stand for more than 10 minutes without being in agonizing pain. And Dana White heard that. He goes, "What?" So he fucking canceled the fight.
God damn it, Cain.
I forget who it was. He was supposed to fight, but yeah, he gets injured a lot. But he took the past like 2.5 years off because he said that his main issue was he tried to go back in the fight so fast. Like he's injured. Okay, I gotta get this injury done, heal up, and then just go. And then he like injures something else because he's trying to substitute for his leg, and then he injures his arm, some shit like that. And he also, I heard there's like rumors that he wasn't working out the right way with like really, really heavy kettlebells and shit. Like there's video of him lifting just improperly as fuck. And like his old strength and conditioning coach just got like toasted and he got fired from it and shit.
Jesus.
But he gets injured a lot. We're going to say that. But he took like 2.5 years off to heal his body completely. And he also wanted to spend like a year with his new son, who was just born. So he wanted to be
we talked before about that extra motivation.
Yeah. Cain,
having a kid out there.
If he comes back half the man he used to be, he still beats Ngannou. That's how good Cain Velasquez is. Cain in his prime beats everybody. I don't see anybody in the heavyweight division. I would love to see him versus DC, but I still think even DC says that Cain's just the best.
He said that. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see Cain back because he makes the heavyweight division that much more interesting. DC only has a couple more fights left, so I'm hoping DC fights Brock and then Jones at heavyweight. If DC beats Jones at heavyweight, woo, I'm going to be the happiest man alive. If not, Cain could come and fucking
finish it up
at heavyweight. I think this is your pick.
My pick?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's think about the options here.
The odds are...
Cain can...
Do you want to hear the odds?
Sure. What are the odds?
Cain's minus 165. Ngannou's plus 145, which I think Cain should be way higher.
Really?
I think
2.5 years is more than enough to facilitate a lower odds. That's a long, long time.
Yeah, but I think ring rust only gets to you if you let it get to you. There's certain people where ring rust doesn't affect them. Dominic Cruz, it didn't affect him at all. Cain Velasquez came out, fucking destroyed Travis Brown. He's doing spinning heel kicks. When does he ever do that? He got 6'9" or 7" Travis Brown. He fucking hit him too, right in the fucking chin.
Okay.
Cain ain't afraid of anybody. That's the thing. He's not going to be intimidated by Francis at all. At all. He fought the Goliath wrestler, Brock Lesnar. Now he's about to fight the Goliath striker, Ngannou. And he has the wrestling to destroy Ngannou.
Right. So the options are Cain can wrestle fuck him.
Not just wrestle fuck him.
And beat him up in the process.
Exhaust and destroy him on the ground. It's not going to be Stipe decision Ngannou. Cain is not going to decision Ngannou.
Cain can do the same thing except he'll finish
on hyperdrive. Just go. Stipe got gassed out too. He did enough to just do enough.
He's gonna Stipe him without the gas.
Yeah, he's gonna Stipe him, but way worse if he comes back the way he is.
Right.
Other option, not brutally knocked out by Ngannou, who is like one of the scariest hitters ever.
Yeah. Other option is he starts really aggressive and just gets his head punched into orbit.
I'm worried that he may fall in love with the striking because he's a really good boxer.
Isn't that the thing he does? He just starts off really aggressive, tries to maul the dude. and just put him on the back heel? Can you?
No, that sounds like Brock Lesnar to me.
Does it?
Who just tries immediately to charge at him like a bull. And
Not literally just charge at him, but keep the pressure on from the start.
He likes to strike in the beginning.
Yeah.
He's a good counter striker, and he's fast and accurate as fuck. When he fought Big Nog, he landed almost every single punch he threw. And then the three punch combination at the end is like I don't even know, 1, 2, 2 or some shit. He fucking just murked him. And then every single ground and pound punch was accurate right on the chin. Boom, 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 just out. He's super accurate. Kane's so good. I don't think people are remembering how good Kane is. Just like everybody forgot about how good Anderson is with striking. How I was like, I can't believe he's like a -4 or a +400 in a striking match against anybody. I don't care how old he is.
Yeah.
Kane is that good at heavyweight. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT at heavyweight. I don't care what anybody says. He doesn't have the 10-year undefeated streak like Fedor. Verdum has wins over both Fedor and Kane. Stipe
You
has
said that Fedor is actually the GOAT, like during his last fight.
Yeah, you're right. I did say that.
It's a little wishy-washy, but I get what you're saying anyway.
Fedor, I'll say this: Prime Kane is the best heavyweight of all time.
Maybe he's the best heavyweight in UFC.
Yes.
UFC history.
But I think Prime Fedor versus Prime Kane. I got my money on Prime Kane. Fedor has the accolades to say that he's the best heavyweight of all time.
Sure.
But if you're going with somebody in their prime, 1 versus 1, just one
Why
fight,
is this always how you make comparisons? Like every time I
battle to the death.
Why?
Why?
You did the same shit with Conor and Nate. You did the same shit with Kobe and MJ.
Well, if you put Kane and Fedor in it right now, it's not even gonna be fair.
They don't have to fight each other for you to compare them.
I guess. Yeah, so I'll say the accolades are on Fedor's side for who's the GOAT, but who's the best at one point, better than anybody, it's Kane.
So
and he could still be
Fedor
the best at this point right now.
Fedor is the GOAT heavyweight. Kane is probably the best heavyweight.
Ever. Yes. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
I think it makes sense. Let's get back to the picks. Okay. So we have our options. I'm so torn on this because I kind of want to play devil's advocate, but I don't know who that would be for. I've heard many people say Francis is going to knock him out. And I've heard many people say that this is Kane, no one's going to beat him. Yeah. So what the fuck? Where's the middle ground?
Listen to yourself.
Who do I not listen to? I don't even know. How do I listen to myself?
Who do you think's going to win? Close your eyes. Who do you envision getting...
Let's see.
Getting knocked out, getting submitted? Is it going to go to decision?
In my head, I see Kane getting knocked out.
Wow! Woo, I hope that don't happen.
No, I don't want it to happen at all. But it's so easy.
Is it?
To do? Throw a punch, guys unconscious?
Kane's been knocked out once. And it wasn't a knockout, it was a TKO.
How many times have you been away for almost 3 years?
I don't know,
like
once?
Half a time.
Once or twice? It might be twice, dude.
I don't know. He's aggressive, and being aggressive can land you in a punch.
Let me ask you this: do you think Ngannou is going to be his confident self against Kane?
I guess that would be hard to do. If you're a little shook against someone like Stipe or Derek Lewis.
A year and a half off between Junior Dos Santos and Verdum. Came back and lost to Verdum. And then he had a year and a month off against Travis Brown. Destroyed him.
Okay, well, Travis Brown is not the highest level competition, and he's not as good as Verdum. And after a year, he was not better than Verdum, right? And he lost to Verdum after a year. So,
yeah.
There's something that could be there on the weight, but I'm definitely not confident in the pick, but that's the choice
Kane,
I'm choosing.
Czech Congo, decision unanimous. Ben Rothwell, second round TKO. Antonio Nogueira, Big Nog, I can't say his name.
Just the nickname.
First round KO. Brock Lesnar, first round TKO. Junior Dos Santos, first round loss KO in the first minute. It was UFC on Fox debut. Then came back like 6 months later, fought Bigfoot Silva, destroyed him and run around. Fought Junior Dos Santos, 5-round beatdown. Fought Bigfoot again, first round TKO. Fought Junior Dos Santos again, TKO, slam a punch, 5th round after just destroying him. Then fought Verdum after that year of injuries, got submitted. We all know how that fight happened in Mexico, all that shit. Then came back and destroyed Travis Brown.
Yeah, I'm not confident in the pick at all, but I'm sticking with it.
I think it's Francis.
I'm still going with Francis.
Thank God.
I knew you would also want to pick Kane, so
yeah, thank God. So I'm going to go with Kane. How you get first round knockout?
First round.
I think that's his only way is first round.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes past the first round, I don't see him.
Yeah, if first round ends, something went wrong.
He's going to be too tired. His arms aren't going to be there. His arms are going to be like... I imagine the first round is just like him trying to get underhooks against Kane and trying to stop the takedown. That's what I imagine. His arms are going to be gassed and exhausted after that first round. And Kane is just going to be ready. Just like, come on, let's go. This is light work.
Okay.
I got Kane.
That's a pretty convincing argument.
I got Kane third round. Second round TKO. He's just going to destroy Ngannou. I don't think Ngannou has the cardio to even keep up.
So you even breathe the same air?
let alone fight. He doesn't have enough to keep up.
Interesting. It'll be an exciting one. It better be anyway.
Yeah, this is a really stacked card. I didn't pick every single notable fight because there's too many of them. But so let's just rewind because we make picks and then the loser has to take a shot. And also that's the reason why I had to pick so many because I'm not trying to die. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Rivera versus Aljo. I picked Rivera.
Yep.
You got Aljo. Jury versus Feely. You picked Miles Jury.
Yep.
I got Touchy Feely. Kron Gracie versus Caceres. I got Kron.
I got Caceres.
Don has Caceres. Calvilla versus Casey.
I got my bae.
Yeah, you got Cynthia. I got Courtney. Fucking A. James Vick versus Paul Felder. I got Vic, but I'm not sure.
I'm happy with that one. I'm happy with it. I got Paul. I'm happy.
I kind of gave you Paul like how you gave me.
Kane.
Yeah, I was going to say. And then Kane versus Ngannou. I got Kane and Don has Ngannou.
I'm excited. That's going to be a good card.
And, I said you want to do this in a half hour? It's 45 minutes right now.
I guess we're getting there. Last one was 55 minutes. This was 45.
The first, half an hour. 5 minutes of this is just straight up bloopers of us trying to get the snap for the camera. I might keep it just so you guys can see how fucking retarded we are sometimes. If you guys enjoyed...
Before we go back, we got to revisit that one piece of news you were going to tell me about. You sent me a post on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. You can talk about that on the other one. Because I want to talk a little bit of MMA shit in the other podcast that we're doing.
All right. So if you guys like the shit, make sure you subscribe. Whatever podcast service you are on, iTunes, Spotify, make sure you subscribe. We'll have another episode out on Monday. It'll detail our normal podcast.
Today's Friday, not the 13th.
15th.
Thank you. And this podcast will be uploaded tomorrow before the fights.
Yep.
And then the podcast we're gonna record right after this is gonna be uploaded Monday.
And you can hear more about the rest of the MMA shit, whatever this secret is.
Yeah.
This is some clickbaity shit, but whatever.
I hate clickbait.
Make sure you do tune in.
I'm my own worst enemy.
Check out our videos on YouTube. We have these podcasts up there. A lot of exciting shit.
Yep. A few gameplays. We're also gonna get back into that here shortly. We're working on it, motherfuckers.
Getting there.
I'm doing a lot of shit right now. Getting a house shit.
Don't harass
schedule
us.
A car accident.
What's the
all
matter
that
with
shit.
you people?
You'll hear about it in the next podcast. So
Fucking impatient.
take care. Tune in.
See ya.
Bye.